I'm going to show you how I made an interchangeable sign with some Dollar Tree signs and some scrap wood. So cute. Let's get into it. I picked up some of these flat signs from the Dollar Tree, very thin. Now we're going to need some glue, some nails, the usual supplies, and some scrap barn board or whatever kind of scrap wood you happen to have. Mine was measured at 16 inches to fit the signs. And now I'm flipping them over and I'm going to attach these to the back to put the two pieces together. First we're going to find the worst sides and glue with the carpenter's glue, because that's what actually holds the signs together, is the glue, not the nails. Put them in place. Now you can measure all this if you like, but because it's going to be on the back, I'm not that concerned, and the wood is pretty thin. So I'm just going to tack these in place so that the nails hold while the glue takes hold and makes the sign permanent. Like my cute little hammer? My daughter gave me that. So I decided I better do the top and bottom, and then I can fill in with a few other nails here and there. Once that's done, you're ready to start painting your other little signs. Pick these up at the Dollar Tree if you get them. And I'm going to paint this one. Now because it's very flat, they can be a bit of a hard thing to paint, so I'm going to use cosmetic sponges instead of a paintbrush this time. Although I will use a paintbrush to touch it up a little. And just using a Dollar Tree chopping mat from the kitchen section, I keep my workspace clean. And then you literally just take your cosmetic sponge and start stamping the paint on. And you go back and forth. Now I'm being a little careful around the edges where the two signs meet, because I know I want to change colors there. You could totally do this all in one color, or you could do it with glitter. But I'm just going to use the traditional red and green Christmas colors and be a little careful around the where the words meet so that I can make the paint look nice. You might need a few coats of this. This is, I find, the easiest way to do these flat signs, because they to paint them with a brush, it's just quite a bit more work than doing it this way. And who wants to do more work? We want to do more crafting and have more fun, right? Now I'm going to change to the red. I did the green first because the red is actually darker, and it's always better to paint light to dark. That way, if you go over your edges or things like that with your lighter color, it's easier to cover that up with your darker color than doing it the other way around. So I'm just going to keep painting this until it's done. And then once this is done and drying, I'm going to move on to my Let It Snow sign, the second part of the project. You can use whatever signs you find, but this is what I happen to come across at the Dollar Tree, so that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm just touching up the edges a little bit where the two words meet, just to make it look a little straighter and a little more like it's been hand painted rather than stamped. Coat number 2, which goes on a lot quicker because coat number 1 sucks up a lot of the paint. Coat number 2 or 3, whatever you want to do, is a lot quicker. Again, any touch-ups, tiny brush, very little hand painting happening here. I'm happy with that. There we go. Ready for whatever I want to do next. So we're going to do the Let It Snow sign now. I use my favorite color on this, which is turquoise and white. You can see it's from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to cut these tags off. And this time I'm going to use sponge brushes, paint on some white, some turquoise, and some glitter for the snow effect. So the white paint, just to show you can do this in a variety of ways. The white paint goes on pretty well with these brushes. I'm just not the biggest fan of these kind of brushes. I don't have many of them around. So we're just going to give that a nice coat of white. This is a vintage white. That's what I always use in my farmhouse looks. I don't like a snow white, although it would probably be very appropriate for this sign. And then the turquoise, which looks darker than it is in real life, but it's my favorite color to paint with, so I do it all the time. So I've got the two colors on there now. I'm going to give it a quick dry because I want to do an ombre effect between the two where they kind of mix together. So we're ready for the ombre, which is two colors mixed together in between the two. A lighter and like a white and a turquoise mixed together on the brush. And I'm just tapping it in and blending and seeing that it's kind of blended together and looks like snow in my mind. So you can blend with your hands. I'm a big fan of that. I love painting on wood, and I think that blending with your fingers is just part of the whole experience. I can add more white. You can just keep working at it till you're happy with the color effect. Once you get it there, you'll be doing the glitter. All right, so I'm happy with that, and now I'm going to add the glitter in the middle between the, I'm going to use glitter glue and crystal clear type glitter or whitish glitter, and I'm just going to make sure that's dry before I go ahead with the paint or with the glue. And here we go. We're going to add some glitter glue because more glitter is better as far as I was concerned. You could use a clear glue, but since I already had glitter in it, I thought I'd start with that. And I'm just putting it wherever the ombre was and over the snowflake itself, because those are the places that I want to be sparkly and shiny. So now I'm just tapping on all that clear glitter that I have as much as you want, and that glue will make it stick. And I think it has a nice crystallized effect, making it look like snow. Tap it off. Make sure it's all good, and you are done this sign. So now to move on to making it interchangeable. Now back to our barn board and our two painted signs. We're going to take them and put them one on top of each other on the barn board and look for a spot where both places could hang from and would be in the same single spot. So I looked around and I realized that it would hang from the T and the E, and that would probably be a good place to put one nail. So I measured it all out, looked at it, and then tapped a nail in, but not completely in. You want it to hang on there. So it's going to, and then I realized that they're going to slide a little bit because they're weighted towards one side. So I was looking for another spot where they both would nudge up against a nail, and that would keep them from sliding back and forth. So that was the down towards the bottom of the W and the T. So those two nails are in there, and now you can interchange these two signs. So it's great for Christmas time. You could add a bow to it, and then when Christmas is over and you want to reuse your sign, you can put your nice cute little Let It Snow sign on there. I hope you enjoyed the video. Follow my page for more.